Hey guys, welcome back to DMAC Customs. Today's little mission on the Area 51 project is to replace these bonnet springs with these gas struts. Yeah, so let's get into it. Why? Because look at it. Look at this. Look at the state of it. And I've only got one. I saw these in the shop the other day for $17. I couldn't go past it, so I actually did go past it, put them back, and then I went back and grabbed them anyway because I don't know, just being cheap. I went rummaging through my parts looking for bonnet hinges to see if I got any with the car, and all I could find was the one, and it's pretty rusted and pitted and pretty rubbish, to be fair, so gone. And I was in the hardware store the other week and I was wandering around doing about 400 laps of the aisles looking for a magnet of all things, and I found gas struts. These are 400 and something Newton something or others of force, so they're pretty grunty really. So I got two. The other one's hanging off the bonnet. I've already spent a bit of time mucking around trying to mock it up to see if I can make it work for you know, all intents and purposes. Oh, and the other reason is really you can buy new springs for these. Not locally here in New Zealand, so I could import some and then wrestle them on and you know, take on that battle, but I don't really want to. And for $17, if this works, then that's $17 well spent. I mean, new set of springs out of the States might be, I don't know, 50 or 60 or 70 US dollars, I don't know, but to get them shipped over here, you're probably looking at least twice that in shipping alone, because they kill us on the shipping trying to get parts for our cars over here, but it's the game we play. So I spent a few hours the other week mucking around with the geometry and reading up stuff on the line as to how they worked, and that was starting to make my head hurt, so I just sort of started trying different things, and as you can see here, I have made something that I think is going to work. It's all pretty roughed in at the moment and just bolted together because I didn't want to sort of start welding stuff on until I knew it was going to work. I tried various different fitment places and things like that, and it would either push the bonnet up because they work opposite to the old spring pulls down, these want to push away. So I sort of started looking at how newer cars are set up, and they all seem to kind of run on this kind of angle, so I thought I'll try something up here, and there was already a hole here for something. I don't know what bolts in here. If you know, let me know down in the comments. So I made a little kind of mock-up bracket, bolted it there in a few different places, and tried different mounting places, and even tried a few different sort of mounts for the bottom end on how to attach it to the hinge rather than the body, so that way it pushes and pulls and pushes and does its thing on the hinge rather than trying to push the body away from the hood. So, but yeah, I think I've kind of got it to work. It does a bit of a weird thing when it comes down to its lower closing point, but it does seem to pull back in. Now it doesn't want to. Oh, I've got something sitting under there. I don't know, something is obstructing it at the moment, but oh. It's still sitting up a bit high there, but I'm not sure what that is. I might have a bit more of a play around and see if I can make it work a bit better, and then figure out how to make up all the brackets nicely and make it look like it's supposed to be there, and not this mongrel assortment of doodads kind of bolted on there. Okay, so I've managed to get this to sort of close better by just trimming this out and trimming a little bit up in this bracket up in here. I haven't cleaned it up nicely yet, but I can get it to close nicer. Real proof will be when the whole back together and I start trying to align gaps and the bonnet doesn't drop down quite as far as that. So now what I'll do is make some templates. What I'm thinking of doing is making a piece that I can attach on here, either weld it, trying to decide whether to butt weld it or do like some kind of lap joint. A lap joint may give me more strength sort of thing if I run something, a little dog leg thing up here, and then I could possibly weld it that way. Don't want to bolt it because its bolts start getting in the way. As you can see, this is all a bit mongrel sitting there, and yeah, then I make up a proper brackets in here, trying to decide whether to put a couple of plug welds up in here or whether to put some riv nuts or something on the bracket and do some little machine screws of some sort to hold it on there. I'm just not sure how much clearance I have between whatever goes in here and the guards and stuff like that. But yeah, could always weld it later. If I bolt it now, weld it later if need be. But yeah, I kind of want to make it removable for whatever reason. I'm not really sure, but that's the plan. So I'll set to making some templates for these parts and then figure out how I'm going to attach them all. Roughly cut two little brackets. What I'm going to do, if I drill the holes big enough, there we go, bolt them together and then I'll clean them all up so they end up looking the same. It's raining. Hot. There we have it. There's my two pieces, currently still bolted together and kind of too hot to hold. I'm going to have to put a little kind of step up fold in them sort of thing. This 3mm plate will be a bit heavy for my little brake, so I'm going to just have to do it old school with the vise and the hammer. So I'll separate these and mark out where my little folds have got to be. And fold, not really a fold, it's just like a little dog leggy thing, just to step it out enough off the hinge. Okay, so I've marked my little, where I'm going to fold these. Now this is something I always muck up when I'm doing stuff like this, where I've got to make two the same but opposites, because I end up making two exactly the same, which is what I don't want to do. So yeah, essentially all I've got to do is sort of step it out about 3mm, so I'm hoping that's enough of a relief, but should be alright. We'll give it a crack anyways and see what happens. use a dead blow hammer for this lot of stuff quite a lot, but this one's getting a bit broke. Okay, so there we have it, 2 of those, and I actually managed to get them pretty even, which is a bit of a fluke, which Murphy's law dictates that the means that the hinges are actually different on both sides, so that's usually what happens when I think things are exactly the same. They're not, but you never know, they might be right. We'll have a look. That's it. Need to trim a bit off of there and a bit off of the back end of it, so it's going to sit about there. This little slot here allows for some bracketry thing up here to clear, and that means I also don't have to kind of cut up. Got to weld up that hole too. I drilled that thinking that was going to work somehow, but it didn't. Hopefully this works. It's looking close anyway. Okay, so I'm about to tack my first piece on. I've actually put one little tack on there, so I'll give it a tack a few more bits on, then I might just double check that it's all going to work again still, and then I'll weld it home and then go and do the other side. Okay, it's going to bolt on the gas strut again, now that it's really hot, and of course it's going to work. Take the old Mercury back bracket off and get it undone. Hitting again. What's hitting? It's that bracket sitting again. That's right though, looks like it will work, so, but I've just got to trim a bit more out of this little thingy bob up in there, which I can't do when this is in there, so I'll take that back off again. Ooh. Nearly made that mistake. It always happens. Drop the nut and it just disappears into the abyss under the floor. Anyway. Okay, so got this one all welded up, and I found another nut, not the one I dropped, but so that's in there. So once I kind of got in there and oh smack, giving it a bit of a dress up with the little what do you call them? Little flapper disc thing or whatever, one of these little doodads. That should look alright, I reckon. Yeah, and so this up here is the little bit that I had to trim, yeah, just to clear that piece down in there, just in this area. Don't think it'll affect the structural integrity too much, I hope. Now do the other side. So, got both my little tabs welded onto my hinge. This one fought me a little bit. I think these might be galv, and maybe I didn't clean enough of the galv off because I was getting a bit of porosity and contamination in the weld, but got there in the end. Got them all cleaned up. Next step is to fabricate up some kind of nicer looking bracketry. Oh my god, I scratched up my $17 gas struts. I might have to buy some more. But alright, so I'll get on to that. I'll take that one off and start on this. Figure out what I can make. There's my little template for replacing this puckery little bracket. So it's that shape there that's kind of the key part, because that'll tuck up under the, well, I'll try and fold it a bit nicer than that, but it'll tuck up under the kind of skirt on the hood. So I'll make up some little sort of folded U brackets around the corners and stuff, but essentially that's it. I'm just going to use some 2mm mild steel plate. I think it's mild steel. Should be. Oh, look at that. That's even. It's even. I just got to make one cut, and that's that one done, and then fold it up and cut that one. I'm going to put some rib nuts in these brackets that I'm making for the old bonnet hood thing. There you go. If it doesn't fit, force it. Still doesn't fit, use a hammer. Oh. This is the best things ever, even though this is just a cheap nasty one I bought off dare I say it, wish. It actually works really quite well for now. I'd say it probably wouldn't handle real industrial use, but handles what I'm doing to it. So. Go. Rip nuts and they're a little bit crooked. That's right, yeah, evenly crooked, so that's good. So far so good. Did the other side first before I started recording, just in case it didn't work. Still got to make sure the gas struts work yet. Hopefully these don't foul up with anything in the guard and the gap and stuff. If they do, I might have to assemble the whole car before I paint it. If they do interfere, then might just have to like little plug the weld them up. But yeah, that's that little brackety bracket in there. Now put the gas struts on and see if this whole thing works. Fingers crossed. Now these apparently have to go bottom, top. So there's a seal in there that lubricates. So bottom, top, seal in there. So maybe that way. Here's the thing, can I get my fat fingers in there? Ooh. Jedi is a real thing, if you didn't know. So far so good. Okay, now this is the magic moment. Will it work? Well, I knew it was going to hold the bonnet up, but what happens when I try to shut it? Takes a bit of effort, but actually works really good. Well, seems to be still good. She's pretty rough, tight getting it down, but the biggest concern with that would be loading up this part, the bonnet, and kinking the bonnet. Bear in mind, bonnet catch will be about there. So, thought I'd just give you a little summary, I guess you want to call it. So these gas struts are 505 millimeters by 450 Newton meters with a 10mm ball cut fitment. Corrosion resistant coated steel, suitable for boots, lids, hatches, windows and toolboxes. Okay, they are an external type thing, so that's cool. job, mate. Oh, these are made in New Zealand. Awesome, support local. See? Hold that there. You read it? You finished? Come on. And when I started playing around with these, I bought these the other week, and I did a whole bunch of research on the internet trying to figure out angles and geometry and all that kind of stuff, and it just made my head hurt. So I came out and made that huckery little thing. I forgot to weld that up. I tried doing different ways of mounting them, kind of in the old spring location, but it didn't really work because the springs are a pull and these are a push, so I had to figure out another way. And then just looking at how more modern cars do it, and yeah, just kind of came up with this idea and these angles and stuff, and figured I just needed to add a little doodad in here, and then that had to clear that thing up in there, and then had to make a bracket to hold it in here. Didn't want to use the existing holes because I don't know what goes in there, and I might need those holes, so I wanted to get it off to the either side of that, and it worked out about, I don't know, 50mm centered away from that hole. So that's that. And as you saw if you watched the whole video, I folded up that little piece there and then made those little bits there, welded them on and bolted all together, and it works surprisingly well. Just a little concerned maybe that they're a bit too strong. I might get see if I can get some the same length but with a little bit less of Newton meters pounds stuff, so they've maybe got a little bit more give in them, because they definitely hold the bonnet up really well, but they're kind of a bit hard to get past that apex, and I'm just a bit worried that it's could possibly load up this area of the bonnet. This should give it all enough support, but that's my only real concern. So other than that, pretty happy. I want to do some for the boot lid too, I reckon. Get rid of those real noisy horror show type springs that are in there. And yeah, there we go. Well, that all actually went surprisingly well. I thought it was going to fight me a little bit more, and usually I get this sort of thing wrong 3 times before I kind of get it right, and so now I'm a bit suspicious of what's just gone on. But yeah, that whole little project was probably only about 4 or 5 hours in it. Did a few hours the other weekend just doing some R&D, trying to figure out how to make it work, and then today, yeah, sort of probably about 3 hours to make my little bits and weld them up and grind them back and fold them up and hammer them and beat them and stuff. But yeah, quite a good little project, and overall pretty happy with how it all worked out. Like I say, just a little suspicious because normally shit goes sideways a little bit. Oh, that's it for this video, guys. Thanks for watching, making it all the way to the end of another one. But anyway, yeah, so hopefully you got something out of this video if you're doing a similar sort of project. It's a little bit of I don't know how I did it. I wouldn't say it's, you know, the only way or the rightest way, but it's just how I did it, and so far I'm really happy with it. As long as it doesn't split the bonnet, I'll be pretty stoked. And these things may even wear in a bit too once they get a bit of the oil flowing and stuff through them and whatnot. Might sort of soften up that thing or make them harder, I don't know. But anyway, if you like this video, want to see some more on this, still heaps to go, so yeah, make sure you hit the subscribe button. Doesn't cost anything, it's free. Awesome. Not much is free in this world, but that is, you just have to suffer through some ads or something probably. And subscribe, like, comment, share, hit the notifications bell if you want to see some notifications for when the videos and that are coming out. Trying to do them weekly. Sorry. May not get them always weekly, but at this stage that's what I'm trying to do. But yeah, other things can sometimes take priority over this, unfortunately. I'd like to do this more, but yeah, it's a bit solitary existence down here. Yeah, so that's about it. See you next time. Peace. Cheers.